Hey guys, what's up? So, I am recording this here in my kitchen because today I am going to finally be reviewing a figure that I've been trying to get for about a year, since the beginning of 2025, when the Age of the Primes came out. If you guys already know what I'm talking about, good, but if you guys don't know what I'm actually talking about, well, I'm going to move this back because this is a big ass box, I tell you what. I'm going to move the tripod legs a little bit up right here. And this is the one I'm actually talking about. Today we're going to take a look over is the Transformers Age of the Primes Titan Class, the 13 Star Optimus Prime. But also known as Star Convoy for all the Transformers Japanese fans out there. Now before we continue on, you guys do me a little bit of a quick favor, so I'll be right back. Hey you! Stop what you're doing! Like, comment, subscribe. Turn on the notification bell, and enjoy your day. Now, before we actually do continue with this, I know some people are going to ask me, why do I sound like crap? Well, I just woke up early, almost around like 9:30 for no reason, and I couldn't sleep. So, I have enough time to actually review this because, well, I actually did a recording the first time, but it didn't work so well, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to delete the video and do it again. So this is like the second time recording this. So this was actually given by my good friend of mine on Twitter, Star Optimus Prime, and if you see this video, thank you very much, man, to send me this. He actually got this at GameStop because, well, my GameStop didn't have any. And trust me on this, I went every GameStop in my area and they don't carry it. Yeah. So if you guys remember, last year, this used to be about $150, and now today it's cost about almost, total with tax, $216. So, yeah, that's kind of stupid. And I think I can recall this was released during the first wave of Age of the Primes, alongside with the other figures. So you can see what the package style is going to look like right here. You can see Star Optimus Prime artwork right here alongside his base mode and his vehicle mode alongside with Micromaster Hot Rod, and you can see other primes also on the background right there. You guys can see you got Onyx, Megatronus, Prima, Vector, Alchemist, and Prima. Transform to 30 step to robot to vehicle, transform to vehicle to base for 36 steps plus 15 plus age of 15 and up. You can see the full nice artwork right here. You guys can see the 13 original primes. You can see one side right here. You can see Star Convoy right there, which I'm probably going to say for the rest of the video. I'm just going to say Star Convoy. Nothing in the bottom. And you can see the other side. You can see the half of it right there. You can see there's Star Convoy right here, but it's almost look like the body mold of Power Master Optimus Prime, also known as God Genrai, which I actually do want to get that figure. And you can see the back of it right there, like I said. So for vehicle to robot, for Star Convoy, yeah, sorry about that, 30 steps, and to vehicle to base mode, 36 steps. And for Hot Rod, he transformed into 14 step, and for the MT-13, nothing transforming, he's just a trailer, which I will show you that right here. And he does comes with the Prime artifact called the Zodiac, which, if I can remember, I think was shown in Transformers Zone, but I need to double check everything, so yeah. So, I'm gonna go pause the video and show you guys what the accessories that he actually comes with, because he comes with a shit tons of it, and trust me, I am not even joking. It comes with a lot, so I'll be right back. So here's all the stuff that Star Convoy comes with, and trust me on this, he comes with a shit tons of accessories. Starting off, he comes with 2 copies of the effect piece, which is nothing but just redecos of the previous one that it came out years ago, but this time we have it in this nice shiny yellow color right here. And all the effect pieces right here, by the way, are made of a rubbery material, except for this one, which I will talk about it right here. It is separable, by the way, so that's actually pretty nice. So you got that right here. Next, it comes with this effect piece right here, which is also separable right here, but also comes with 3 the little tip piece right here, so that's actually pretty cool. Also made of a rubbery material. This other effect piece right here is made of a hard translucent blue plastic, which is actually was pretty cool. But I wish they could add some little bit more detail and a little bit more paint to it, just my opinion, but it does look pretty cool. Comes with a little bullet right here, you guys can see, which is very tiny. Don't lose it, and if you lose it, you're screwed. The ion blaster right here, and you can see there's a gap right there that you can load in the bullet right there, which is actually pretty nice. But like I said, don't lose it, for God's sakes. If you do, you're 100% fucked. This little gun piece right here, which you can actually plug it into Optimus Star Convoy on vehicle mode right here with this little giant, with this peg right there, or in the robot mode right here, or you just flip it right here for the connecting that right there. But I will show you that later on the video. So that's actually pretty cool. The sword hilt right there, which is actually a shape of the Matrix of Leadership, which is actually pretty cool. Comes with Hot Rod, NT-13, the two little guns, and these right there. And lastly, the Prime artifact that he actually comes with, the Zodiac. Which, if I can try to focus on the damn camera. And you can see the Zodiac right here. It's nothing but just a little orb with a peg, but you can see the symbol right here, the 13 symbol. Now, if I don't remember much about the Zodiac, but I know there's one Transformer character who actually used it, which is, I think, Atlas, if I can recall. I'm not sure, but I do want to say this. I do want to get the Atlas figure from Transformers Legend from Takara Tomy. Alright, let's show off Star Convoy in his vehicle mode first. Then we can show off what Hot Rod next, the MT-13, and the rest of the other stuff. So yeah. And here we have Star Convoy in his vehicle mode. Wait, something missing. Yes. This is actually very important for you guys. These are actually connected down here, which there's two giant tabs right there you guys can see. And these two connection part right there you guys can see, which you have to connect them. And these are very important for this right here because, well, of course, this is part of the vehicle mode. Which, trying to line everything up so I could connect it like that. Like so, and hopefully I'm got the connection right. There we go. But here it is, Star Convoy in its vehicle mode. Now, if you guys don't remember, years ago, Japan released a Micromaster base of this right here, which it looks so pretty good. Now, comparing this one, the one that we have today, to the original one that came out, I think the original one is a bit longer and bigger than the original one, which unfortunately I don't have. Which I don't have the OG one, because if you're trying to buy shouldn't have done that, but if you're trying to buy the original Star Convoy, the Micromaster base, yeah, good luck with that, because that's going to cost about a shit ton of money. And trust me on that, I've seen a lot of people selling it on eBay for a lot of money. So yeah, the painting and sculpted detail on the vehicle looks fantastic. The red all the way from the front to the middle of this grayish color right here, which we'll talk about it later, all the way to the endless blue right there, look fantastic. And I'm going to say this, the vehicle will look great. Comparing this one with the other Transformer characters with the trailer on it, I think this is like the longest one. I think this is like the longer one than the other ones, like, let's see, Earthrise Optimus Prime, I think. I don't have that figured though. But yeah. Alright, issues. A lot of people complain about the stripes on it right there. It doesn't have the silver stripe. And I agreed. Because they're using the dull gray plastic right there. And it sucks. Trust me on this. It sucks so much. Like, why? And let's see here. One of the other issue. Well, of course, if you flip it upside down like that, you can see the robot chest is right down there. Which it doesn't show much of it right there. It's just a figure. It's just a Transformer figure just laying down like this on the fist, on the hands are right there. So yeah. And you can see the treads, are not actual treads. It has like the small little wheels, which And the original toy, it has like actual treads. And plus, the original toy from that one is actually motorized, which you can make it go forward and backward. Unfortunately though, it's just, you know, like that. So it's not much how to say about it. Yeah, the other one thing that's sore thumb is the robot feet stuff sticking out, which just kind of sucks, to be honest with you. And it sadly doesn't have the front cab of it doesn't move side to side, so it just stayed in one place, which is also kind of sucky as also. Now comparing this one with the MT-13 right here and Hot Rod, he is bigger. He is bigger for vehicle mode. And also longest. But for the others, I mean, I'm short because, like I said, I don't have the other figures to do a comparison with. So yeah. He does have some nice details right there, you guys can see. If I can bring the figure up right here and trying to focus on the stupid camera. You can see he does have some nice detailing right there, which is actually was pretty cool. There is like a small peg hole right at the end of the truck, so I'm thinking about Hasbro probably gonna make another figure like Japan did back in the day, but I mean, not sure, so we'll see. So that pretty much that's it for the Star Convoy. Now I'm actually gonna show off with Hot Rod next because, well, like I said, I want to show off Hot Rod, which he's the only exclusive figure for this set right there. And here is Hot Rod right here. So anyways, the painted and sculpted detail of the vehicle mode does look great. And not gonna lie to you, Hot Rod does a little bit of look okay, I guess. It's just the problem is, he needs a little bit more deco. And plus, I don't know why Hasbro did this, but there's two giant gaps on the wings, on the spoiler right there, which it does ruin the vehicle mode, which just kind of sucks, to be honest with you. Like, I really do hate it looking like that. But I think comparing this one with the original Micromaster Hot Rod from Takara that release, this is like a bigger version than a smaller one. Because if you're comparing this one with the from a original Micromaster toy, yeah. Underneath right here, you can see the robot head and the fist down there. But if you don't see much in the vehicle mode right there, like on the side, well, you can barely somewhat see it. But yeah, it does roll. He does roll pretty well when I mention one thing. So that's actually pretty cool. So let's put him to the side to show off MT-13 right there, which is the trailer right there, which it looks pretty good. It's just a truck, and that pretty much that's it. There's nothing special of it. Now, the original Japanese toy of it has spring-loaded gimmick, which you can push out the vehicle out there. Unfortunately, though, the front wheels right there in the front cab doesn't have the actual wheels. It's just fake, so that kind of sucks. Does roll pretty well, I want to mention one thing. And you can open this part up to store right here, to store Hot Rod in there, and that's actually pretty cool. And speaking of storage, like the original toy, if you come by to the back of it right here and open up the side of it right there on the cabs, there is some connection part right here and right here. Yeah, two connection parts. And this will connect it to right there, you guys can see. But you gotta be very careful what you're doing because there's been some reports of breakage and damage. And trust me on this, the reports, I don't know if people still dealing with this, but I am trying to be very careful not to break this because this is cost about this is like $200 set, so yeah. Just connect that in. Like so, very carefully. Close this up, and there you go. And these back here, you guys can see, you can actually flip it down. And there's some connection right here to connect other Transformer figures that have the module connectors right there. Both of them can open up like that, which is actually pretty cool. Sadly though, you only come with one trailer, so that's kind of sucks. The original toy comes with two. But you can bring this down, then you can open canopy like so. With this part right here, and you can actually bring Hot Rod out like so, and that's actually pretty nice. Like a cool gimmick, they actually did that, which is actually pretty cool. But like I said, the original toy has the spring coated gimmick and it just shot out, so yeah. So I'm going to put Hot Rod out of the way for now. And he does have some weapon storage, by the way. This giant gun right there will go into the middle right there. You guys can see. Well, you can barely see it, but we'll go in the middle right there. Full weapon storage. The giant ion blaster right here that Optimus comes with, we'll connect it to here. And the two sight guns, by the way, are on a hinge, by the way, which I forgot to mention. Can connect it right here. Also forgot to mention one thing. What about the sword hilt? Well, the sword hilt has another storage, which I need to remove this out of the way. And the same connection joint like the other side right here. You can store it in this side right here, or you can store it on the other side. Doesn't matter, but store it right here. Close it back in. Like so. And you can put in any effect piece right here. For example, like I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put the other one here. And for the giant ass one, right there. There you go. So yeah. You could put in a lot of effect piece on this one right here, whatever you like it. And I don't know why the camera's being blurry right here. It's starting to piss me off. Like, I'm not even joking. So yeah. But yeah. Also, by the way, the connection of this one right here to the ion blaster is kind of feel weak, and when you're trying to shake it, it does tend to pop off. So be very careful what you're doing right here, and yeah, pretty much that's it. So let me remove all the effect piece right here out of the way, because now it's time to do the transformation to base mode, which is going to be easy and simple. But I'm going to pause the video because I brought the other tripod, because this is going to be a big base mode, and trust me on this, I'm not even joking. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I had to stop the recording for a bit because this is going to be like a long video, so be prepared for that. Also, forgot the other mention, there's also two more accessories, which is actually inside of the robot head, so I forgot to mention that too, so I do apologize for that. Now, the transforming Star Convoy to vehicle to base mode is easy, but you have to understand, but you got to pay attention for everything. So first things first is by removing all the weapons out of the way. And don't worry, I will remove the other two inside the compartment of this right there. First thing first is by removing these out of the way. And trust me on this, you need them later. So put these two to the side for now. So there we go. Next is by opening up the calf piece right there, which you want to remove the sword hilt right here, and for MT right here. Carefully remove it because you don't want to break the connection part right there. Which easier said than done, because this is a giant pain in the ass to remove it. And trust me on this, I don't like the connection part right here. There we go. So remove that out of the way. So leave this open for now. Next is by removing the side piece right, the side of the vehicle right there, which, forgot to mention one thing, the connection of these two right there are a pain in the ass. And when you try to mess around with it or lift it up, it has the tendency to detach it, so yeah, be very careful what you're doing. Next is by folding up the crotch piece right here, the front crotch, because you have to unfold it again later on, so just fold it up right like so. Next is to open this side right here, flip it right there. You guys can see, probably not showing it, but flip it up right here like that. Fold it all the way right here. Next is by twisting to hold this with all this right here. Then you want to actually have the figure sitting up like this, because you want to because you actually want to have it facing like this. Then you want to flip down the crotch piece once again. God fucking damn it. like so. Now, I'm gonna bring this figure up. You want it? Do you see this piece right here? You want to flip it down like that because this will be the stabilize everything. And there's a little peg hole right there, which you can see it stabilizes everything. And the peg hole, there's a peg right there, not a peg hole. I'm an idiot. Then you want to close the panels like that so far. For now, not so far. Now, I know it's just a Star Convoy sitting down but folded open like an origami, which I know does look pretty stupid if you ask me. Now, the upper part right here, you want to face it forward. You want the robot chest facing forward right here to the base mode. So, close it like that to face forward. Next thing to do is by detaching both sides of the vehicle mode right here and flipping the panels down right here. After that done, you want to split all of this right here. All of this you guys can see. Open up the chest. Bring the head of a Star Convoy right here. And you can see what I'm talking about. Two more accessories, which is the little antennas right there you guys can see. These two right there. Which, do not lose them also, because if you do lose them, then you're screwed. Like, completely screwed. But you can connect them to both sides right there when you open it up, so yeah. Now for these two right there, you guys can see to my fingers, the two little panels right here for the wheels, you want to fold all the way in right here and fold the chest up like so. Next is to detach, disconnect the head right here to have it facing down. Yeah, I know that looks pretty stupid. Now for the rest of the arms, connect these right here. Now flip these up right here, like so. Then you want to bring the arms facing like this at a 90-degree angle, or facing like that. But you also want to bring the arms down, which I'll do that later on. Because you want to open this part up, slide it down, so you can twist it around to facing the hand out and slide it back up. Close it in. Like so. I think you got it right. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Like that. So you got that done. Now you're not finished yet because you want this component back again. This time you want to flip out these little parts right there, which also have the module connectors. And you want to flip these panels back here, like so. Flip it out like that. Then you want to open the whole part right there, you guys can see, like so. Now, there's a peg hole on this side right there. You can barely see it, but this side right there. And then we'll connect it to the same peg right there. And there he has Star Convoy in his base mode. Yeah, like I said, I know it's just a figure, you know, sitting down, folded up like an origami, and I know it does look pretty stupid if you ask me. But that's how the original toy is from back in the day. Now, there's nothing much of it to say about this. It's just, it does look pretty dumb. I'm going to say this. It does look pretty dumb, but I don't know, to be honest with you. Now, comparing this one with the other Titan class figures with the base mode, like Omega Supreme, Scorpionaut, Tripticon, Fortune Maximus, and this is like the smallest one right here. Yeah, he does look pretty small like this, and I understand what Hasbro is going through, but I don't know, man. It's just look weird, and I think I could have made a mistake. I think you have to have the chest open out like that, then you have to bring all of this out. Yeah, you have to have it like that. I'm an idiot. Oh man, I don't know what to start off with. Here's the thing: the connection part for this piece right here and that is not secure. It's just weak as hell. It's not great. That's all I'm gonna say. Of course, you have the robot fist sticking out like that, like a sore thumb, which is also, not that great also. Now the two little cannons right here that I removed, by the way, you can actually still connect them right here, and you can still do the same thing for the robot mode. You can have them connected right here, which is actually looks pretty cool, and it does go full 360 degrees right here because of course it's an opaque, duh. Now this part right here, you guys can see, you can put in the Zodiac right here, or Hot Rod right it in, which, by the way, I will probably do the transformation right about now for Hot Rod, because I'm going to show you guys that the gimmick. So let's bring in Hot Rod very quick. And to transform him is very easy and simple, if the camera can even focus. Bring the front part of the vehicle mode down like that, split like this, flip all of this out like so, bring the feet in, and there you go. I will talk about him later on while I'm doing the robot mode for Star Convoy, but for now, like I said, for Hot Rod, you want to actually have him sitting down like so. And you can go in right here like that. You can see he's actually in there, you know, commanding the whole base. With the original toy, you can actually still do that, which is actually pretty cool. And of course, for the Zodiac, I know you won't be able to see it, but this part right there, you grab the Zodiac and you just plop it in there, like so. I know you can barely see it, but if I can zoom in the camera a little bit more, you can see the Zodiac is right there resting on Optimus, or Star Convoy. Also, there is a bit of a issues on the chest last year, which I will talk about it in the robot mode. Now, if we bring by MT-13 right here, which you can actually detach this part, because this part right here you can flip it out like that, forming a gun, which it has a tendency to sometimes to pop off, which is very annoying. But connect it right here, and it stores right here. You guys can see, which actually does look pretty cool. Not gonna lie to you, but also here's the thing. This right here, you guys can see this right here. You can flip it right here. Now they have these little this part right here, which you can bring Hot Rod in there, which it is a giant pain in the ass to deal with. Not gonna lie to you, it's a giant pain in the ass to deal with. You want to flip out the feet like that, and plus you want to angle it too. So first thing first, you want to have it like this. Easier said than done, because this is a giant pain in the ass to deal with, not gonna lie to you. It's connected right here. You want to have like all the way in, and you want this piece to like tab in. There we go. And you just flip it around, connect it in, and next you just want to angle Hot Rod to look like he is operating this, and there you go. And that right there will connect it to right here on top of MT-13. There you go. You can see it right there. And plus you can use one of the side guns right here to connect it to the side of it, which there's a peg hole on it, which I will detach it. Connect that here. You guys can see. Which, I know you barely see it, but yeah, you can connect it right there. But here's the best thing about this. Here's the best thing. When you detach this, the gun right here, let's connect MT-13 back again to the side. There is a hole right there, which it has another gimmick. And also forgot to show you off the ramp gimmick right there, which I'll show that a little bit. But when you connect it right here, you know what? Let me try to like extend the arm, like so. No, wait. There you go. I think this is the far you can go. And you can see the connection right here, what I connected. Right there you guys can see. Now on the original toy it has like battery gimmick. And what it does, it has the ability to, like all this right here, the threads, can make the Golden Micromaster go down by itself and it roll down. But not only that, this part right here can actually spin. And I actually have the same gimmick can actually spin because there's a little peg right here. I know you won't see it, but if you have your copy, there's a little peg right there that you can spin this around all the way around like that. You can go like this or you can like that. But yeah, it has the same gimmick right there like the original toy, which is actually pretty cool. And like I said, if I can disconnect this part once again to show you off the ramp gimmick, because I forgot to show that while I was doing the well, I have hot rod in this vehicle mode. There we go. So let me transform hot rod very quick because if also you have other Micromaster available like around your place, or if you have like some Legend class figures, I think Legend class figures can actually fit it in. I'm not sure, but I think Core class will also fit in. I'm not sure. But anyways, you guys can see right there, you can actually do that, which is actually pretty cool. Like I said, it's actually pretty cool. But you can add in more weapons right here for the base mode, which you can plug in, grab the Ion Blaster right here. And the Sword Hilt, there's two options for the Sword Hilt, but for now I'm going to use the orange one I have right here. Just plug it in like so. Come on, I said plug in, don't be an ass. There you go. You can plug it in right here. Yeah, this is actually like you're doing on the, I think the instruction does show the same thing, but probably not, but, yeah. That pretty much is it for the base mode. So, I'm going to stop the recording once again. Transform him back into vehicle mode because now it's time to transform Star Convoy into his robot mode. So I'll be right back. Alright, so the transformation for Star Convoy is actually easy. Like, very easy and simple. It's not actually very hard. So, first thing to do is by flipping up the robot feet up, like here. Then you want to bring all of this up right here. Which, by the way, is going to be a tall ass bastard, so maybe I can extend the tripod legs. Okay, I actually need to extend more of the legs of the tripod. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. I have to like extend this because, yeah. So, flip the feet up and have him set it up like this. So, let's see here. First thing first is by detaching the two panels right here. You guys can see, but before we actually do that, you want to detach. Before we actually connect it in, you want to actually detach it first. Have it at this angle. By the way, the connection of these tabs right there, the connection of these right here for the panels, are not that good, and they do have the tendency to pop off. So be very careful what you're doing. So yeah. Next is by opening up the shins right here, and you want to flip the crotch piece up here, and you want to close all this up like that. Then fold it all the way like that. Next thing to do is by detaching the legs of it right here. So let me actually do it lying down like that. There you go. So you got the legs done. That's the first part. Then you want to twist the whole body around, but before we actually do that, let me just make sure I have actually straightened everything out. Okay, there we go. So you want to twist the whole body around facing forward, but to do so, fold up like this, the panels, then fold it all the way like that. Twist it 180 degrees, so you can have the chest facing forward like so. You can see all this right there, you guys can see. Now, you want to fold out these panels right there like you did in the base mode. You want to fold these out. Flip this up down like that. Detach the front part right here, you guys can see. Disconnect the chest piece right here. Then you want to flip out Star Convoy head. Jesus fuck. Disconnect like that. Close these back up like so. Next is by bringing the chest up like that and connect it in. And I sort of got it. I have to figure straighten out. There we go. Now, you want to do the same thing like in the base mode. Just fold out the arms. But this time you want to extend the arms. So connect this in. Flip this. Extend out the arms, open this part out like that, then you want to twist this around like that, connect it in, bring the arms down, same on the other side, like so, ouch. And there you have Star Convoy in his robot mode. Like I said, the transformation is easy as simple, and I think is actually one of the coolest transformation in history. So, this is Titan class, yes? Well, here's the thing. A lot of people complain about this figure because it's not like the actual tallest Titan class. Because here's the thing, comparing this right here with, let's see, let's do an example. Armada, Legacy United Armada, Tidal Wave, Legacy Evolution, Nemesis, Legacy Cybertron Metroplex. Star Convoy is the shortest Titan class out of the three. Now for War for Cybertron Trilogy, Siege, Omega Supreme, Earthrise Scorponok, and Kingdom Arc, he's still the shortest. And the last three, Combined Wars, Titan Class, Devastator, Titan's Return, Metroplex, and Triptychon, not Metroplex, Omega, Fortune Maximus, Fortune Maximus, and Triptychon, and lastly, Power of the Primes, Predaking, the Titan class version, the big one, he's still the shortest. Yeah, he is the shortest figure in history, and this is one of the major complaints about is the height. Yes, he's not like a Titan class, but he's still a Titan class for this wave. So yeah, but plus for a $200 set right there, that's kind of a bit depressing. So anyways, the paint and sculpted detail of the figure does look great. And you can see more of it right here on Optimus Prime, well, Star Convoy, sorry about that, on Star Convoy, and it does look pretty fantastic. Now, if I can recall, I think the original figure has like this part right here in chrome, because I know Takara told me have the Generation Selects version, which is the heavy retool of the Power Master Optimus Prime that came out during Titan's Return. Using that mold, but it has like translucent chrome chest. I'm not sure the original toy have that, but yeah. I do want to say one thing. The head sculpt does look fantastic. Like, hands down, if I can zoom in the camera. There we go. You can zoom in, you can see the camera right there. It does look pretty cool. And here's the best thing about this. He does have some light piping right here. So if I could disconnect the head a little bit like this, you see these pieces right there, you guys can see, it is light piping. Which, let me actually grab my, headlamp. I know I have it somewhere, but let me grab my headlamp. Okay, so I got my headlamp, and let's see here. I don't know, you can barely see it, but let me move the head a little bit more right here. But you can see right there, light piping. If you guys know what light piping is when a Transformer figure has translucent plastic back of the head, and it has the ability to have like some glowing eyes. But I know most people are probably going to forget about it, but we'll probably do a YouTube short on it in the future, so yeah. Articulation-wise. So the figure does have some great articulation. Well, not much, mostly because of this right here. But yeah. Articulation-wise, head is on a swivel, so it does go full 360 degrees right here. You could detach the head like so, right here. Arms is on a ratchet. Everything you guys can hear that you guys gonna listen is all ratchet. So arms 360 degrees on a ratchet joint. Arms can go in and out. Swivel the bicep right here, it's on a swivel. 90-degree bend at the elbow right here, you guys can see. Swivel at the wrist right there. You do have some finger articulation, but it's all together like this, not like, you know, like this. Gotcha. So, let's bring the arms out a little bit. Ratchet joint on the swivel at the waist side right here does go full 360 degrees. Now the front plate right here is all together. It's not like separate, which is kind of sad right here. It does go up and down, and the side skirt can go up and down like that, because if I can bring the figure up right here, blades can go forward, shit, back that far. Legs can go in and out. Thigh sole right there. Bending the knee about this far right there. And an ankle pivot about this far right there. So you won't get much articulation from this figure, but you can do the best you can for it. So yeah. So there's not much else to say about it. Now, the issue. If you guys remember the report years ago of the quality problem, mostly on the chest. Now, just gonna double check to see if I have him straightened out, because I feel like he's not actually straightened out. There you go. Now, if you guys remember the report about a year ago of this chest piece right there, and this is actually true. This chest piece right here, you guys can see, if the camera can even focus, it wasn't plugged in all the way. Now, I don't have that issue at the moment, but thank God for that. But other people had the same issue last year. So what it does, people had to unscrew all this right here, pop this off, realign it once again, and put the screw back in. But it's actually pretty cool to fix that. Lucky for me, I don't have the issue. Also, by the way, if I can open up right here, and you can see the Zodiac right here inside a Star Convoy right here, which also, if you could bring in Hot Rod once again, like you did it on the base mode, I know the Zodiac is in the way, but you can see right here, like the original toy, but it's actually pretty cool. Now, let me show you guys what he actually looked like with the weapons on. So, trying to connect the chest piece back once again. Easier said than done. There we go. So, connecting, by the look of it, what the weapon, what he looks like. Let's bring in the ion blaster. There's another pig hole right there to connect it in. There you go. This is what he looks like with the ion blaster right there. Which, of course, you connect the this effect piece right here with the other one. You just pop it in there. There you go. But like I said before, the connection piece right here is not that great because, well, of course, is the pig on this one is kind of short and it kind of sucks. For this right here, it can connect it to right here. Well, only this part right there. You can connect this part right there. You guys can see. Also forgot to plug in the shoulder cannons on the side of the arms, like so. Or there's that. And lastly, for the sword hilt, now you have two options of it for the sword hilt. You can use this effect piece right here to connect it right here. I mean, well, it does look pretty cool, but of course that belongs to the ion blaster connection part. Look at this. This actually looks pretty cool, but let's just detach this again, and then you can bring this in like that, which does look pretty cool. Now, I know most people wondering, what about the other effect piece? It doesn't look great. I'm sorry, but it's scrawny. I'm sorry, but it doesn't look great. But back again with this right here. But yeah, you know, for a Titan class figure that is so short, costs about $200. The original price was about $150. Do you think it's even worth it to get this figure? Well, I'm gonna do the final posing, give you guys my final result, and yeah, I'll be right back. This is the final pose I can give to Star Convoy, so I do apologize for that. So anyways, overall, if you guys actually want to get this figure, I would highly recommend it to get this, but I would recommend to try to get on the internet, because if you try to get it like on GameStop, I don't know, GameStop will probably have it, probably not, but yeah. So anyways, you guys, I'm actually pretty happy about this, because now I'm just missing about Onyx and Vector Prime, the only last two Prime figures I need to get the well of the Primes, and yeah, my collection of the 13 Primes will be completed. So yeah. But overall, this figure is actually pretty good. The only problem is the height, the pricing, the issue with this figure might have, so be very careful with it. And also, if you're planning to buy the repaint version of that figure, which is the Star Nemesis Convoy, the Star Nemesis Prime repaint, you know, from Takara Tomy, from the New Legend line, which it is going to come out, I think, probably this year or next year. Probably next year, I'm not sure, but yeah. So anyways, I'm going to end this right here. So, thank you very much, Star Optimus Prime, for getting me this figure. And if you guys want to go follow him on his Twitter page, I'll be the link in the description down below, which he is actually selling some Transformer figures he want to get rid of. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to end this right here. So, have fun, stay safe, as I'm always, I'm out.